crew, welcome to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local light worker. I'm a tarot reader and an astrologer. Welcome to a very special pick a card reading. We are going to use the method of tasseomancy or coffee grind divination. Sometimes people also use tea leaves. I don't actually have the coffee with the grinds itself here in front of me, but I've been drinking coffee throughout the entire week. I am this kind of person that needs coffee first thing in the morning to be able to wake up. And I've been taking photographs of the remainders of my coffee, and I just thought, wow, I'm seeing such rich symbolism in these images, and it would be so much fun if I would create a reading where I would interpret these coffee grind symbols for you, and maybe you can play along with me. You will see the image here so that you can make a choice as to which option pulls you in the most, but when you will reach your pile, I will also have on a separate part of my screen a high quality image with the coffee grinds, so you can zoom in and maybe look into it and you can play along with my interpretation. I've opened the space for whatever messages need to come through, but before we dive into the actual coffee grind divination, I thought that we would work with the beautiful energies of God Hermes, which is the Greek god of communication. He was the messenger to the gods. His Roman mythological counterpart is Mercury, the planet that rules over the intelligent and witty signs of Gemini and Virgo in astrology. And the Egyptian equivalent of Hermes is the wise god Thoth, the scribe to the gods, the one that would record hymns and prayers and rules on pieces of papyruses for preservation. So I would like, as I've accustomed you in this week, to invoke them. Invoking them means that we've created this space. I've opened up a circle of protection. I am offering the gods an apple, a luscious red apple, because you always need to offer them something, even if it's just a glass of water. When you invoke a god, you need to do it respectfully, and if you ask for something, you should always give them something in return. It could even be a compliment as well. So let's thank them for being here, and I shall begin to invoke them by reading them a poem. So we're going to begin first with the god Hermes. I'm going to read the poem that is given to me by Stacy DeMarco from her wonderful oracle book, Gods and Titans. Let's do this. So, glad-hearted Hermes, son of Zeus, make my words be true, may they reach their mark. Allow me clear voice and clear heart. Speedily may my message travel over the threshold of ears, brain, and soul. I call you Hermes, winged of foot, the giver of good fortune. Grace my reading with your energy so that it is accurate and always sends true. God bless, so may it be. We're so happy to have you here with us, Hermes. And if you allow, we are also going to summon Thoth, your Egyptian counterpart. Thoth, you who assisted Isis, husband of white-feathered Ma'at, you who hold the knowledge of all books, of all numbers, of all thought, allow me to understand in completeness what I need to know. Allow me to decide, to connect, to immerse myself in my own wisdom. Speak now. What should the collective do? Thoth, eternally wise, we are eternally grateful for your blessing and guidance. God bless. So may it be. Thank you so much for being here. Please accept this small offering as a thank you from my part and from the collective's part. And if you guys were able to have a look at these images, I'm going to show you as well. This is the image for group 1. This is the image for group 2. And this is the image for group 3. So if you were able to make a choice, if you listened through the invocation, I would like to remind you that if you want to get in touch with me for personal readings, to join this channel, to see my second channel, to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Patreon, if you want to have a look at my website where I post astrological articles, if you just want to leave comments below, smash the like button and the subscribe button, I would be eternally grateful, as I am for the fact that I am able to do this wonderful work for you under the presence of such divine energies. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's find out your secret tasseomancy message for the day. Mwah. Hey group 1, I'm so happy that you were able to join me today for a special tasseomancy reading. It's the first of its kind on my channel. I just thought we would play a little bit with interpreting symbols that we can find in the remnants of coffee grinds. So this is for those of you that were drawn to this image. I'm now going to transform it over here into a high quality image, but I will keep it for my own interpretation so I can have a look from time to time and tell you what I see. Feel free to play along by looking at the image over here in this corner of the screen. So I've opened the space to see whatever messages you need to hear in this period. I know that certain tasseomancy symbols have a dictionary, they have a specific meaning, but that was socially constructed by other readers. I will do my best to interpret the symbols intuitively without relying on prior knowledge, just how I kind of perceive them, how I feel into them. So the main aspect that I see happening in this specific cup is a waterfall. This is a deluge, a feeling of overwhelm. You can see very clearly that it looks almost like there is a crescent tsunami wave. There is something that falls. It could even be a snowfall. I have a feeling that it is a feeling of overwhelm, that if you work with it, you will actually attain a lot of abundance. I feel like prosperity is knocking at your door, opportunity to make more money, to become more financially stable, to maybe acquire better skills, to ascend to a deeper level of spirituality, and thereby also kind of ascend socially to a level of mastery. You might be promoted, you might be asked to lead a group of people, you could reach a level of master or commander or whatever kind of higher ranks exist in your specific profession, in your specific field of study. Some of you are actually going to be flooded with information because you might need to wrap up a course of study. You might need to finish writing your thesis, your dissertation, and information kind of floods you in this period because you need to find a way to organize it, to parse it, to make it make sense on paper or in the way in which you communicate information to other people. Some of you are struggling with big data, fuzzy data, data that doesn't make sense. Some of you could be into a coding frenzy. You could be struggling to finish a game, struggling to finish a computer project. There is something here about maybe trying to see how all the pieces of the resources that were given to you fit into something that will make a cohesive whole, a cohesive sense. You are trying to create a picture that will maybe push something further in society, maybe bring a string of progress to the people around you. But at the moment, you're still struggling with the details. You're still being hit left and right with all sorts of random challenges, things breaking down, not working. You feel like you're on top of your project, you're on top of your work, you're on top of your money, of your resources, but then something happens the next day, the next morning, in an hour from now, and you have to go back to the drawing board. Keep persevering. I feel that the main message of this image is that you need to keep persevering because you see the solid foundation. If you have a look at the basis of this coffee grinds formation, you see the solid basis, the deep dark water that is sustaining and holding this deluge, right? This snowfall, this tsunami wave of resources, information, opportunities, maybe even people. For some of you, these are actually people that you are going to come in contact with. Another thing that I see here, two elements I see. if you have a look at the basis where you see that plateau that I was talking about, the stable plateau of the coffee cup, I also see a sun, and this to me is the rising sun. So the land of the rising sun is usually the east. You might have to trade or do business or go and study or meet people from the eastern part of the world. This could be locally. If you live in Europe, you could have to deal with a lot of resources that are being sent right now to Eastern Europe with the organization of such resources. Maybe you're contributing to the war relief efforts for Ukraine. Maybe you're just trying to study in that particular part of the world, or maybe you're romantically linked to somebody back home. You could have relatives, you could have family there. The eastern part of Europe is going to be an area of your life that will be quite important for you in the coming period. And if this is not specifically applied to Europe, I am European centric because I live in Europe, so please do apologize the bias. This could talk about Asia. It could talk about countries on the Asiatic continent. It could talk about maybe having to trade with Japan, with China, with India, countries that exist in the part of the world in the east. So this could be the Near East or the Far East, depending on your specific circumstances. Keep in mind, I am reading for a large collective. The other element that I wanted to pinpoint out here is that if you see on the top of the wave, I'm trying to kind of work around the image that you guys have here. On the top of the wave, at the crest, right where at the end of it, you see this elongated shape, and to me that is the head of a horse. So potentially a person that is either born in the lunar new year of the horse, or what we traditionally used to call the Chinese year of the horse, could come into your life to help you. This might be a friend, this might be a lover, this might be a family member. I am picking up more somebody that is a friendly or a lover rather than a relative. It could be somebody that you meet on social media, somebody that you've been following for a while and you reach out and they help you. I feel that this person born in the year of the horse is going to be your lucky talisman, your get out of jail card, if you want to call it like that. This person might actually post bail for you if you have been struggling, if you had some problems with the law and you need somebody to help fund you in some way. I feel like this person, once alerted, could be able to fund you to gather money for donations. Again, if you're working to help a large group of vulnerable people at the moment. So don't hesitate, reach out to this person. You will find if this person is born in the Chinese Lunar New Year of the horse by looking at the dates when this year happened. I do remember off the top of my head that 1990 was a period when people born in that year actually fall under the year of the horse energy. But that's just one of the many years. It could be also somebody born a little bit more recently. So I feel that horses in general, they represent physical, mental stamina. Horses are usually animals that assist with transportation. They are animals that are engaged in races as well. If you guys know about dressage, they are trained, physically trained to be fit and elegant and to jump over obstacles, right? So this talks about nobility, royalty, elegance, training, putting in the training, putting in the hard work right now. Striking the iron while it's hot will actually give you a fantastic blade, a fantastic edge on the competition right now. If you are maybe struggling to put the foundation of your business, maybe struggling to finish your PhD, your master dissertation, your bachelor's degree, and you are a little bit worried as to, will my efforts actually bring me the fruits of my work, rewards, tangible things that I can build my life upon so I can live well and prosper? And I see here that yes, this is a very clear confirmation from Spirit that this will happen for you. Now, I see this very thin strand as well. I don't know if you're able to see it, but there is a very thin strand right next to the elongated shape that I see as a head of a horse. You could see something perfectly different there, but I see this floaty energy there. So I would say that in this period there is the presence of an ancestor. There is a ghost-like energy, a spirit that wants to get in touch with you to give you some help. If you're struggling with your energy levels, you might need to light a candle, put the photo of an ancestor that you have been thinking about recently, or somebody that you might have recently lost, or somebody that has a very important ghostly presence in your family, maybe a departed grandmother, grandfather, or even you know, your next of kin, maybe a mother and father that you lost. Put a photo of that person in a really like centered place in your room, and light a candle and burn an incense stick, because I feel that by respecting them, by acknowledging their memory, that spirit is going to do some work in your benefit behind the scenes. You will never know when you'll get a lucky call, when you get a past notification that an application that you were struggling to get approved is finally getting passed. There are certain things that exist outside of our control, and I feel like you have at the moment a protective ancestor, a ghostly spirit that wants what is good for you, but you just need to honor them, acknowledge them, and remember them, so that they can actually start willingly helping you out. You know, guys, that spirits can't actually intervene into our mortal affairs here unless we actually allow them to. So get in touch with this energy, allow it to come through. I guarantee that this is something positive, and then watch how you will get a spring in your step with the projects you're trying to push forward. You won't feel so overwhelmed, you will feel supported, and you will be able to actually open your arms and receive this avalanche of opportunities, money, maybe even compliments that you have been waiting to create and manifest in your life. Whoa, I feel this was a little bit challenged as well. Sorry, not challenged, channeled. So if you have been challenged, things are going to break open and the obstacles will be removed. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about this kind of a reading? If you need me to make some adjustments to it, I will pay attention to your suggestions and adapt accordingly. Make sure as well that you like this video, that you subscribe, and also that you have a look at all the links that I placed down below for your viewing pleasure. Thank you so much, Group 1. I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Mwah. Hey Group 2, hello my loves. I'm so happy to have you here with me today for a very special reading, a tasseomancy reading. We are going to interpret together messages that come through from coffee grind symbols. So this is for those of you that were drawn to this image. I am now going to transform it into a high quality, high definition image over here. I will keep this for my own interpretation so I can have a look at the symbols, making sure that I'm not leaving something out. But please reference this image if you want to play along and interpret with me. That's the whole fun of this reading. Actually, this type of reading, normally you would find a dictionary of symbols that you can follow in order to interpret signs from coffee grinds or tea leaves. But in today's reading, I thought I would just go with my own intuitive knowledge and experience and just tell you what I see, because a lot of things were coming through when I was looking at these images. And you can play along with me. That's the fun of it, and you can see maybe different things in it. Let me know down in the comments as well. But let's begin. Let's see what messages am I able to pick up on following this image. So first of all, I can see a forest. I can see a lot of trees, and if you have if you pay close attention to these trees and the outlines of these fir trees, you would see that they have an extra coating around them. This to me is a supreme sign of protection. You are guarded right now. It's almost like there's an army of angels, or there's just something incredibly positive around you. You might have been doing some really good inner work. You've been working on yourself. You've been facing your fears, working with your shadow, doing some deep psychological pattern breaking. There is something here. Maybe even you've been receiving intuitive messages from your dreams. You've been following your inner voice. You've been allowing your intuition to speak in tandem with your logic and with your reason. And I see that right now your aura is incredibly powerful. It's magnetic. Some of you have very bright bright white auras, golden auras, and some of you have very pronounced streaks of purple around you. And these are all supremely spiritual protective colors. So I feel that at the moment you are ideally aligned to manifest a really important dream of yours, something that you might have thought is impossible for you to achieve. This is it. This is the moment to actually do it. Believe in it 210%, not just 100%. You have to put the foot on the gas and actually start to implement a dream of yours. There is no need for you to doubt. There is no need for you to do cost and benefits analysis that are tiring. This is the moment to jump into it. No more sitting back on the fence like a wallflower. You have to take charge, get back into your rhythm if you were pushed outside of it by circumstances, and take a risk. This is the moment. You are supported by not only your wonderful energy that I feel you have been working on steadily and cultivating throughout time, but it's almost like this wonderful inner work you've been doing has attracted external support, even if it's unseen support and you're not able to understand exactly who is helping you and in what way. Just put one foot in front of the other. One step is all it takes for you to begin bringing a dream of yours, a deep desire of yours into reality. It could be as easy as picking up the phone call and calling somebody that could help you. It could be as easy as writing an email, creating a vision board, or just going and visiting a place that you've always wanted to visit. If you have been rejected in the past, try again. In this period, whatever failed in the past will lead you to success in this moment. You won't even believe it. You won't believe that this is true. You might still doubt it, but you will see that this is coming true for you in this period. Now, aside from being protected, fir trees and a conglomeration of trees talks to me about a community, a collective, a social group. You might have struggled to fit into a particular group. There might have been challenges. People could have always wanted to leave once you entered a group, or there was some sort of exclusive ritual that you had to perform. There might have been some monetary threshold that you needed to achieve in order to reach that group, or it could have been something based on skills and an accreditation, like maybe finishing law school so you can enter into a group of, you can be part of the bar, or maybe enter into a group of partners at a specific law firm that you really want to be part of. Or this could also be like finishing your psychological degree so that you can begin being part of the American Psychological Association, or a group of psychiatrists that are very respected in the area. Those are just some examples. Maybe you're doing art, so maybe you always wanted to gain a sort of allegiance or an exclusive membership to a specific group of artists that could be at the forefront of digital art creations at the moment. I'm just giving you some ideas. You know better your situation. I'm reading here for a large collective. I tell you what I see in terms of energy, and this is like a doorway opening up for you to finally be welcomed into that specific group that you've always wanted to be part of. So I see here a collective that will welcome you in, making you feel less of an outsider. You will finally feel like you belong, like you fit in, like you've made it. You've been through ups and downs. You've really struggled to be there. And I think that finally this group is going to look at you with a lenient, compassionate, and admiring gaze. And they will decide, good, you're one of us now. So I think for a lot of you, this is a step up in life. It is feeling included and protected as part of a group. This will also create inside of you a feeling of confidence and security, a stable understanding that whatever I stay determined and perseverant with will actually give me or bring me closer to the dream that I want to implement in my life. So all efforts will pay off. It's a similar message to group one, but in a different area of life. Group one had more about this work aspect. I feel like for you, this is belonging to a group. I feel that for some of you, this could even be returning back home, reconnecting with your cultural roots, your community, and even a family that you might have struggled to feel like you belong into. This could be the prodigal son or daughter returning back home. This could be the black sheep of the family losing that black sheep identity and finally understanding that, hey, the whole family was a family of black sheeps, you know? Or I was never a black sheep to begin with. I was always like a beige sheep. That is just a funny twist on that old traditional saying, but I hope that you understood the gist of what I'm trying to say. You will return home and you will feel like, I belong here. Why have I been running away from who I am? You're going to be able to see that you have more things in common with the people that have created you, that have raised you, that have educated you. And even if they struggle to do those things, you will still understand the support and the blessings in disguise that your family has been peppering along the way in your life. They have built you into this wonderful, strong individual that you are today. And I feel that a lot of gratitude is going to wash over you and your family and your community. I also see that on top of these, you see over there the fir trees, and you see this light coating around them. You see the valley, but on top of these trees, there is almost like a light flaking, like maybe a gentle snowstorm, or maybe some leaves falling down from the sky. I feel like a golden opportunity will enter your life. I keep hearing this word golden, golden. So it's kind of like something that happens once in a blue moon, something that springs up from other people. So by you reconnecting with your family, potentially, if you identify with the scenario, or by you gaining access to this group of exclusive people that you've always wanted to be part of, these people will then do something to help you. They might propose to you something that is too irresistible to refuse. This opportunity comes with some work and some responsibilities, but if you stick to it, it will actually give you potentially, I'm not exactly sure if it will give you the dream that you're trying to manifest. I think that you have to put in some work on your own to actually bring that into being, but it will bring you closer to that very thing that you desire to achieve in your life, whether that is owning a large home, or living a wealthy life, or being a person that everybody respects and admires socially, or looking in a specific way, or feeling like you are emotionally satisfied and that you've healed. A lot of us have different goals in life, of course. We are very unique, but I feel that an doorway for a golden opportunity will open up for you. And I feel that if you see there's this line that is coursing from that gentle flaking, there's almost like a line that is cutting through, and it has a little bit like a yellow energy. I feel like this is the protective sword of Archangel Michael. To me, this kind of cutting energy always reminds me either of the energy of Saturn, who always separates us from that which is not good for our higher becoming, and also the protective energy of the flaming sword of Archangel Michael, who separates you from what is evil, separates you from what is of a low vibrating energy. So you will need to let go of a specific group that you were attached to in order to become part of this other group that you might have lost contact with in case of your family, or that you've always wanted to be part of but you never could gain this exclusive access to. So you're going to sacrifice one group of people that you might have spent a lot of time with recently in order to gain entry into a different environment. But this will come with a wonderful golden opportunity, which it would pay me to see that you will miss out on. So I feel that at the moment you're in a transitional phase in your life. You're going to have to let go of one group of people and enter into another group. For some of you, this could actually mean that you finished your studies in one country and you have to go back home and start looking for a job, or you might move from one country to the other to be with the person that you love. So the transition won't feel so painful, and it won't feel like you're having to sacrifice a group of people that you got unaccustomed to. But I think that whatever you're leaving behind has run its course. You burned the karma with those people, and now it's time for you to step onto a new path with confidence and faith. And just so you know, you're going to feel so good inside. You're going to feel like you belong, like you're safe, like you've made it in some way. So So this is the reading that I had for you, group 2. Let me know down in the comments, did this resonate with you? What symbols are you seeing over here? I'd be so curious to hear from you. Make sure that you also hit the like button and that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you check all the links that I put for you down there for your viewing pleasure. And until next time, I cannot wait to see you for another unique pick a card reading. I'll see what I'll think from the top of my head. Take care. Until then. Mwah. Hey group 3, hello my loves, how are you? Welcome to a very special pick a card reading. Today we are going to interpret symbols from coffee grinds. This is a tasseomancy reading and it applies to those of you who are drawn to this specific image. I'm going to transform this into a high definition image which I will keep here on my screen, so you can maybe play along and interpret the symbols as I intuitively read them out for you. Let me know down in the comments what other symbols you are seeing. Usually there would be a pictographic or a symbolic dictionary related to each tasseomancy reading, but that dictionary was created from the interpretation and experience of other people. It's a social construction, which means everybody has been giving their own opinion. And in this reading today, I want to challenge myself and use my intuition, use my own experience as a reader to tell you what symbols I see, because already when I was looking at the bottom of my coffee cup, when I took this image, so many messages were coming through. So part of it will be from what I recall from my memory, and part of it is going to be what I see right now as I'm looking at this image. So you'll have the image over here so you can play along, and I'll be looking at it from time to time here on my table to make sure that I tell you all of the symbols that I see. So let's begin. For those of you who have chosen this image, I see here a difficult decision. You are sitting at a crossroads at the moment. There are 3 specific strands that are all pouring into the same source. There are issues here regarding your roots. Where do you feel safe? In what environment do you feel safe? Who is the person that you want to choose in order to build a life next to? You could be caught up in a 3-party situation, and this might be that for some of you, you are the main participant in this 3-party situation, in this potential love triangle. So you are the person that 2 other people are fighting over. But I think that in other cases, because I'm reading here for a large collective, keep that in mind. In other cases, you are the 3rd person. You are the person that is somehow trying to get closer to one of the 2 other individuals that form a more stable couple. So I see here that a decision will need to be made. In some cases, the decision pertains to you. Whom do you want to choose? Whom do you want to be with? In other cases, there might be some gentle persuasion. There might be some more self-respect work that needs to happen in order to get the other person to influence them in an indirect way to choose you. And if they can't choose you, I feel that a decision will have to be made anyway for you to find a way to reach stability and a sense of safety in your life on your own accord, through your own means. And that could be a scary prospect, but I see here very clearly that if you persevere with it, if you don't give up, if you try to spend time by yourself and overcome your fears and the anxieties and worries that might creep up on you in those moments of stillness and solitude, you will actually find so much inner strength inside of you that nothing will be able to shake you, influence you, or push you around in life. This is a true moment of needing to stand up for yourself. I feel that for the majority of you that have chosen this group, you are a South Node in Libra, North Node in Aries, or a South Node in Cancer, North Node in Capricorn. You're learning how to control your feelings, not to let them influence you. You're learning how to develop a backbone, how to stand up for yourself and not tolerate lack of respect. You're going to learn how to no longer be an option in a person's life, but to become the main priority, the main course, if you want to call yourself in this way. You are understanding that you are the protagonist of your destiny. You are the CEO of your life, and you are going to be able to make decisions left and right, which are no longer coming from a need to please other people or to get everybody to agree and to have everything in harmony all the time. You are going to act on this selfish impulse, which is going to lead you down the path of leadership and creation. And you're going to also come to terms with the word selfish, because I think some of you are struggling with an understanding of what is exactly in your control and how to stop feeling so guilty for wanting certain things which other people might not like, which other people don't agree with. The important realization that needs to happen here is that you have to live with that person, you have to live with that job, you have to live with that house, not other people. So make decisions based on what you want, on what makes you feel good on the inside. So I see here a life that will be crafted not upon what looks good on the outside, but actually what feels good on the inside. I see as well some fireworks, so I feel that you might be invited for a celebration. You could go through a market, you might go to some sort of ceremony, a birthday party, you could go to an event. I feel like this might be a public event. There will be a lot of lights. This could be a Christmas market. This could be end of the year concert. It might be some sort of religious celebration that you attend in your neighborhood, or the wedding and the birthday party of one of your closest and nearest and dearest. Because I see here that good times are coming. This is 5th house energy. The 5th house in astrology deals with celebrations, short-term romances, wedding planning, participating in all sorts of fun and entertaining events. And this is also the house where you can shine, where you can express your identity. It is naturally ruled by the warm-hearted and flamboyant sign of Leo. So I see that you will have a moment to celebrate. First, there is this decision that you need to make to unburden your heart and free up your energy, because living in this liminal space, in this 2 of Swords energy, you are not able to enjoy life anymore. Make that decision, let the chips fall where they may, and then I feel like you will have a moment to celebrate. This could even be deciding on a partner and then fully committing to one individual and one individual only, and actually seeing how this connection is moving into the fun stage, the romantic stage, following this pretty rough and tough beginning. I also see here that there are many opportunities that will pop up. I see the sky, I see the constellation. If you look at the top of this reading, the part that is a little bit in the shadow, I have to say that I see here as well the female sexual organ, and I feel like the Mount of Venus is strongly emphasized as well. Maybe you see something different, let me know that in the comments. But I see here that if you have been sexually repressed for a very long period of time, this will be a period from now until about a month from the moment when you stumble upon this reading, when opportunities for dating, for romance, for expressing yourself in a more sexual way will pop up in your life. So I see very clearly here that you could be spoiled for choice in the coming period, and you'll feel a little bit like there was a drought of experiences, and then all of a sudden so many opportunities are popping up in your field of vision left and right. This could be because maybe the transit of an important outer planet has just completed in your birth chart. You might have had Uranus transiting on your Mars or Venus, or maybe Saturn on your Mars and Venus, and this blocked your divine feminine and divine masculine energy for a while. It maybe made it more erratic, chaotic, your energy levels were flip-flopping or they were non-existent. You didn't feel like you wanted to invest into anything that had to deal with romance, developing yourself sexually, or kind of chasing, flirting, having these fun romantic adventures. But now I feel that that transit of that planet has just wrapped up, and you are ready to go and pursue these wonderful options that all of a sudden are going to open up in your life. It's almost like somebody comes and pulls the curtain from what has been a pretty dark night of the soul for some of you. You might have actually needed a lot of time on your own. You could have hermited away, but now I feel like you're ready to make a decision. You're ready to commit to something. You're ready to go out and celebrate. You might even start to feel slowly pushed into this party mood. You're going to feel like life is worth living. Life is something I can celebrate. I don't have to wait for the future to be happy. I can be happy in the present moment. And for the majority of you who are women or identify as women, or you have female biological reproductive organs, I feel that you will also get some good news regarding your health. You might go to the gynecologist and you will find out some really good news. You will be told that you are okay, your health is wonderful, and that there is something here about blooming, like following some sort of scares regarding your reproductive organs. You will actually be given a clean bill of health, and you will be told that maybe if you've been struggling to have a baby, or if you've been struggling to feel pleasure, everything will have healed, and there is then an opportunity for you to kind of be able to maybe get pregnant if this is what you want, or get virile again. There is just some really good news that I see coming up for you. Okay, so these are the messages that I had for you, group 3. I really hope you have enjoyed this reading. Let me know down in the comments if it resonated, if you have been seeing other symbols here in this image. Make sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure that you have a look at all the links that I placed down below for your viewing pleasure. And until next time, I cannot wait to see you then. Take care. Bye.